What U.S. Navy sailors do during their time, on board and off-duty life. Visual, nighttime ocean, aircraft carrier deck lights glowing, waves crashing against hull. Narrator calm, intriguing. It's 2:17 a.m. in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Thousands of miles from land, no cities, no streetlights, no escape. Most of the world is asleep. But on this floating city, life never stops. So what do U.S. Navy sailors actually do when they're not on duty? Do they sleep? Train? Watch movies? Stare at the endless sea? Or is life at sea something completely different? Tonight, we're stepping inside one of the most unique lifestyles on Earth. Waterwave introduction, why this topic matters. Visual montage of sailors working, laughing, eating, relaxing. When people think about the Navy, they picture combat missions, aircraft launches, and strict discipline. But sailors spend months at sea, living together in tight spaces, far from family, internet, and normal life. How they spend their free time isn't just about relaxation, it's about survival, mental health, teamwork, and staying human in an environment that feels almost otherworldly. So what really happens during those off-duty hours? Let's find out. Anchor background and context. Life at sea. Visual, aerial shots of aircraft carrier/destroyer cutting through open ocean. A U.S. Navy ship is basically a floating city. Aircraft carriers can hold over 5,000 people. Destroyers carry a few hundred. Submarines, just over 100, sealed underwater for months. Sailors typically work in rotating shifts called watch rotations, often 6 hours on duty, 6 hours off, around the clock. There's no weekend. No holidays. No going home after work. The ship is home. And that means free time doesn't look like it does on land. 3 o'clock major activities. What sailors actually do off duty. ZZZ1. Sleep, when you can get it. Visual, tight bunk beds stacked 3 high, dim red lighting. Sleep is precious at sea. Most sailors sleep in small racks, bunk beds barely big enough to turn over. Sometimes stacked 3 high. Often inches away from machinery noise. And because of rotating shifts, sleep schedules are constantly changing. Some sailors learn to fall asleep instantly. Others never fully adjust. Imagine trying to rest while engines hum, alarms beep, and the ocean rocks you non-stop. Video game 2. Entertainment in a floating world. Visual, sailors watching movies, playing video games, reading. With no theaters, malls, or parks, entertainment becomes creative. On large ships, sailors might have movie nights in common areas, video game consoles, card tournaments, board games, books and e-readers, music and instruments. Sometimes entire departments organize competitions, trivia nights, talent shows, even makeshift Olympics. Because when you're stuck at sea for months, fun becomes a mission of its own. Person lifting weights 3. Working out, staying strong and sane. Visual, crowded ship gym, sailors lifting weights while ship rolls. Most Navy ships have gyms, though gym might mean a small room packed with equipment and people. Exercise isn't just about fitness. It's stress relief, energy release, mental survival. Running on a treadmill while the floor tilts beneath you. That's normal at sea. Some sailors even run laps on the flight deck when conditions allow, thousands of miles from land. Telephone receiver 4. Communicating with home. Visual, sailor reading email, video call when in port. One of the hardest parts of deployment is distance from loved ones. Internet is limited and slow. Phone calls are rare. Video chats may only happen when the ship reaches port. So sailors rely heavily on email and handwritten letters. For many, checking messages becomes the most anticipated moment of the day. Food, the social center of ship life. Visual, mess hall serving food, sailors eating together. Meals are more than just eating, they're social time. Ships serve food nearly 24 hours a day to match rotating shifts. And despite stereotypes, Navy cooks often work incredibly hard to keep morale high. Special meals for holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, even birthdays, become emotional highlights. Because on those days, the ship feels a little more like home. Glowing star human stories and surprising details. Fishing pole fishing in the middle of nowhere. Visual, sailors fishing off ship's edge. When allowed, sailors sometimes fish off the ship. Imagine catching a fish in water that's miles deep, with no land anywhere in sight. Moments like these remind sailors just how small they are compared to the ocean. Milky Way stargazing like nowhere else on Earth. Visual, clear night sky over ocean, Milky Way visible. Far from city lights, the sky becomes breathtaking. Many sailors describe seeing the Milky Way in stunning clarity, something most people never experience. Some say those quiet moments on deck at night are the most peaceful memories of their service. Birthday cake celebrating life's moments at sea. Visual, small birthday celebration, makeshift decorations. Birthdays, promotions, retirements, all happen on board. Crews get creative with decorations, cakes, and surprises. Because even in the middle of the ocean, life goes on. Hourglass nod on consequences and lasting impact. Visual, sailors looking out over ocean at sunrise. Living this way changes people. Sailors often develop strong discipline, deep friendships, emotional resilience, appreciation for simple things. But it can also bring loneliness, stress, and fatigue. Months away from family, missing major life events, adjusting back to normal life afterward, none of it is easy. Yet many veterans say the bonds formed at sea last a lifetime. Because when you've shared isolation, danger, boredom, laughter, and endless water together, you become something like family. Ships sailing towards sunset. So what do Navy sailors do in their free time? They sleep when they can. Exercise to stay sane. Laugh, play games, watch movies. Ride home. Stare at stars. Count down the days. And slowly, they adapt to a life most of us will never experience. A life where the horizon never changes. Where time feels different. And where thousands of strangers become a crew. Next time you see a ship on the ocean, remember, it isn't just steel and machinery. It's a floating world of human stories. Montage of ship life highlights. If you found this glimpse into life at sea fascinating, hit the like button. Subscribe for more untold stories from around the world. And tell us in the comments, could you live months at sea, with no land in sight? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.